Hey, thanks for being with us on Through the Prism of Chrism videocast. We record these pretty early in the morning. I have my cup of coffee. Sit down and have a cup with me. Hey, we're talking this week on F-bombs. I said F-bombs yesterday. Face your fears. Today's F-bomb: filter your feelings. Just as I poured water through that coffee in that Mr. Coffee Pot filter, you have to learn to pour all of your pain and your emotions through the filter of God's love, but more important, through the filter of the Word of God. So, people are feelings oriented. Some girl says, well, you don't understand the feelings I have for him. Or some guy says, hey, I don't feel the love in this room. Or somebody said, Jackson, sorry, I'm just not feeling it today. Some feel yucky, they feel blue, they feel blah, they feel lousy. You got to get control of your feelings, and I want to share 3 ways today. Number 1, guard your feelings. There's an interesting verse in Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28. He that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. I'm not telling you to put armor around you or to build a wall and be introverted, but I am saying you do need to be selective about what you allow in your life. Filter your feelings. Notice, you're in the army now. Let me say that. You're in the army now. Suppose reveille sounds and some buck private jumps out of bed and says, or lays in bed and says, Sarge, I just don't feel like getting up today. Well, listen, within the hour, he's going to have all kinds of feelings, isn't he? Or go to the mortuary. Take the end of a pin and stick it in the arm of a corpse and watch what happens. Well, nothing happens. Surprise? Why? Because it is dead. And Colossians 3 and verse 3 says you are dead and your life is hid with Christ in God. A dead person doesn't have feelings. And I'm not talking to walk around feeling less, but I'm saying that if you're dead with Christ and your emotions, your affections, your lusts are dead with Him, then all of the gossip and the criticism and the ridicule of other people will not have an effect on you. Guard your feelings. Second, guide your feelings. It says in 1 Samuel 30 and verse 6 that David encouraged himself in the Lord. You have to rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Guard your feelings. Guide your feelings. When that little woman pressed in and touched the hem of Jesus' garment, and Jesus said, woman, thy faith has made you whole, then it says she felt in her body that she had been healed. First was what? Faith. And then was what? Feeling. It always works that way. Healing has nothing to do with feeling. It has to do with faith. An old pastor friend, Jerry Haynes, used to sing, I feel a blessing coming on. And then he would sing, I just feel like something good is about to happen. Hey, feelings are all right, but you got to make sure that you guard your feelings. Second, guide your feelings. And third, govern your feelings. I said govern your feelings. Years ago, somebody went up to the healing evangelist, Smith Wigglesworth, patted him on the back and said, how you feeling today, Smith? And he literally, it irritated him and he rebuked the guy. He said, I don't ask Smith Wigglesworth how Smith feels. I tell Smith how Smith feels. That's what I mean about governing your emotions and your feelings. Take charge of it. Years ago, when this online stuff and everybody's sending out jokes, somebody sent me one about 2 buffalo that were standing out in lush Wyoming grass, prairie grass, home on the range type stuff, with grass up to their waist, just eating away, minding their own business. And this cowboy runs full gallop, stops right where they're at, jumps off his horse, grabs one of the buffaloes by the beard, and says, you're the ugliest thing I ever saw. Your breath stinks, your hair's mangy. Looked over the other one and said, you're not much better shape. You've got bison dung caked on your feet. What's wrong with you? Jumped on his horse and rode out into the sunset. And one of the buffaloes looked over at his friend, still chewing on some brome grass, and said, did I just hear a discouraging word? Let me tell you something, folks. We're home on the range as believers. Seldom is heard a discouraging word. You have to make up your mind, I'm not going to allow that into my life. Guard your feelings, guide your feelings, govern your feelings. Hope you've enjoyed today's F-bomb. Tune in tomorrow. We've got several more that we're going to share this week and on a little bit into next week. Like if you like, comment, and be sure to share this with a friend, because everybody needs to learn to filter their feelings.